More Life. I'm Jody Dean. This is a show dedicated to the good people who are doing great things in our communities during these challenging times. Because of the reaction to last week's first episode, we've now set up a Facebook page where you can share your stories directly. Just go to Facebook and search More Life with Jody Dean and you'll find it. We're looking for stories big or small because right now some of the smallest acts of kindness can make the biggest difference. Coming up later in this program, a comeback story of beating the odds from a man known for years to Dallas-Fort Worth's radio listeners, and an inspirational musical performance you won't soon forget. Now, several viewers have asked where I'm taping this, and the answer is my tiny house studio in our backyard. We originally built it for recording audio and as a spare bedroom for when family comes to town or when my daughter has friends over. It's now a full-blown TV studio, and that's my son you can see fixing it up. It is a time of improvisation. For instance, you've probably seen the work of Dallas Wear uniforms on the sidelines of NBA and NFL games. Ordinarily, they make cheerleader and dance squad uniforms, but with no games to play right now, Dallas Wear Uniforms has repurposed its plant to make personal protection equipment, or PPEs, for healthcare workers and first responders. Teresa Allred Owings has an event and party planning business in Fort Worth. Now, with so many people unable to even get out, she'll pick up and deliver just about anything you need, from groceries to prescriptions. You can find her on Facebook or through teresaseventstaffers.com. This time of year, Tarika Lofton's Loft 22 Cakes on Daggett Street in Fort Worth would be turning out awesome creations for weddings and parties. But thanks to COVID-19, there aren't many of those these days. Yet Tarika is still putting smiles on faces with these. Yes, they're cakes, meant to look just like, well, and just like the real thing, they're flying off the shelves too. You can get your own at loft22.com. Garland's Cathy McNeese doesn't have a shop and actually works as an animal advocate, but what she creates in her home kitchen is stunning. And if you get a hold of her through Facebook, she's making for donations to charities and for animal rescuers. This past week, first responders saluted healthcare workers at the Plano campus of Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital with a parade of lights. And one of the efforts underway to protect healthcare professionals is coming from an art studio near downtown Dallas.
Stephen Fusil's artwork should be on display and for sale at festivals this time of year.
You know, I was expecting to do a good 20 to 30% of my living over the next month.
Fusil works out of the Acme Creation Lab near downtown Dallas. It's a 9,000 square foot community workspace for artists and inventors who now have nothing but time on their hands and a strong desire to help those combating COVID-19.
The whole thing pops around the front.
They came up with the idea to build face shields for healthcare workers and first responders.
We're makers of something out of nothing.
Well, it's good to have something to do in quarantine.
Ian Thorburn owns the lab where several artists have been working non-stop, only limited by a shortage of supplies and a need for better machinery. Currently, these artists are able to produce about 12 face masks an hour. But if someone donated an industrial press or some plastic, they say they could make at least 1,000 an hour.
So our biggest hurdle right now is finding 0.02 polycarbonate to make these out of.
If we could help 150 people from being sick, it'd be absolutely worth it.
In North Dallas, Zach Bergenholtz and his crew at Blues Barbecue are serving meals via online ordering and through their walk-up window, and feeding first responders for free. Since Blues takeout business is doing so well, Zach has funneled money back into whole barbecued chickens and sides with a goal of donating 100 meals each week. Lots of barbecue joints are helping out. In Louisville, Sullivan's Texas Barbecue has what they call the whatever bucket, meaning you can get a prime brisket or pulled pork sandwich and pay whatever you can afford. They're also using a food truck for what they're calling neighborhood relief and delivering at no charge to seniors in need Tuesday through Saturday. Lozano's Pizza in Euless is doing something cool as well. Besides offering free pizza and delivery to older residents and frontline healthcare workers in their regular delivery area, Lozano's is inviting neighborhood elementary school kids and their families to make handwritten notes of thanks and encouragement to include in those meals. You can either drop your notes in the box Lozano's has set up outside on the sidewalk or mail them. Megitix is a Dallas-based information technology company, but lately their solutions have included buying and delivering dinner for local first responders, including Dallas Fire Rescue Station 20 and the Segoville Fire Department. And while we're on the subject, fire departments across the country are joining in what's being called Sunset Solidarity, with bagpipers all over America pledging to play every evening until the pandemic has passed. Here in Dallas-Fort Worth, that includes members of Wiley Fire Rescue, piping down the sun at the end of each day. Again, if you've seen or know of a great story, tell me about it, either on Facebook on the More Life with Jody Dean page or by sending me an email to jody@jodydean.com. Coming up next, how we've made it through hard times before and overcoming. Lessons from a Dallas-Fort Worth legend's long road back, when More Life continues.